Right. So what do we know about vision? We don't know that much about vision, okay? But it's a really interesting subject. So what do we know? A big part of how we see the dress, right? Because they tried to study the phenomenon, what was going on with this dress. A big part of how we see the dress has to do with a process called color constancy, right? And you can't have like a talk in a pane group without showing this picture, right? But everybody here knows that the square here is the same color as the square here. They're both the same gray. It's only the only difference is the outline color around that square. A and B are the exact same color, it's just we perceive them differently, right? It's a contrast stimulation test. So these squares are the exact same color. It's just a contour that makes us interpret this one as darker and this one as lighter. So what we know about our sense of vision, how you see the dress depends partly on what inferences you make about the lighting. The context of what surrounds the dress will influence the color that you see of the dress, right? So this square is the same color as this square, but because the surrounding color or the surrounding context is different, we interpret it differently. But if you shut that out, you see right away that it turns brown, and now it's orange again, and you just can't unsee that. And now it's orange again, and now it's brown. So your first impression is the one that is most likely to stick. If you see it one color the first time, you'll have a lot of problems seeing it a different color. The second time, third time, you'll have a lot of problems unseeing it. But the differences in the eye may also account for the illusion. The way we perceive might not at all be about the color constancy and top-down brain processing. We interpret colors differently. Researchers have failed to come up with a theory that can satisfactorily explain the dichotomic behavior of the population when viewing the said optical illusion. So there are lots of possibilities for how experiences shapes our varied perception of color in ambiguous scenes, all of which remain to be studied, right? And I took these pull quotes from Bo Lodo's TED Talk because he gave I don't know if most people probably saw it. Optical illusions show how we see. The brain doesn't hear sound or see light. What we perceive is its best guess of what's out there in the world. So this is just a picture, but everybody can see it move, right? And then the projectors are good enough because the first time I did this, the projectors weren't that high quality, and it's like, oh, damn. But that's great. Now, what I like to say is, convince me that it's not moving. But it's not. It's not a GIF, right, or a GIF. It's just a JPEG. But we perceive motion. And here, can you spot the black dot? It's everywhere. We can get a hold of it. It's all over the place. So context matters. You can't have a pain talk without showing this picture. No, but I love this picture. So the experience of pain, which was the cold rod at minus 20 degrees Celsius, the perception of that pain was different when exposed to a blue light. It was less when exposed to a blue light as opposed to a red light. So a red light increased. The context mattered. Past experience and expectation may be more important than genetics in how strongly our visual apparatus is influenced and how it influences our reaction, perception, and behavior. And this is another talk which I took a lot of pull quotes from Anil Seth. Your brain hallucinates your conscious reality, and that doesn't give many chances about where I'm going, right? You're probably guessing everything. Oh, well, yeah, of course he's going there. Figuring out what's there has to be a process of informed guesswork in which the brain combines these sensory signals with its prior expectations or beliefs about the way the world is to form its best guess of what caused those signals. So look at the black dot right in the middle. Keep looking at it. Don't let it go. Okay? This is just going to last a few seconds. That black bar at the bottom is reaching its destination. And something's going to happen. The suspense is killing me. Okay, now blink. So as soon as something changed, did everybody get that? You want to do it again? Because it's fun, right? Even when you expect it. All right, try not to see that. Once the information changes, your brain will do its best possible work to fill in the gaps. The information changes. Oh, then it must look that color. It must look. And then you blink, and then it's a black and white picture. Your brain fills in the blanks, and it's really fun. It's fun. Then I know everybody's going to go on Google and check like hallucinations, and they're going to freak out about all the things that are on. I had a hard time picking out illusions. I said, okay, I'm just going to settle with this one. It's like, another one, another one. So I cut out a lot of illusions. But we're really heavily visually dependent, and we can alter bodily perceptions through visual illusions, right? The mirror box therapy is an example of that. Has anybody ever tried this, by the way? It's freaky.
I've done the rubber hand illusion.
You've done the rubber hand illusion?
It's weird.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but there it is, the rubber hand illusion, and it's been extensively studied, and we don't doubt that, right? I mean, even the body temperature of your hand diminishes because the importance is attributed to the perceived hand and not necessarily the felt hand, which is pretty amazing. And also, these are really great, and I love Tasha Stanton's work on this. Bodily illusions, bodily resizing illusions will influence the pain that we perceive, right? I did say perceive. The effect of resizing illusions modulate osteoarthritic pain and swelling. So people who would look at their leg, right, would see it with the special camera, would get visual feedback of the leg either being stretched out, compressed, and it would alter the way they felt their leg or they perceived their leg. Very, very visually dependent on how we perceive our world. And when we use VR, it's an example, and more studies of VR concerning VR are coming out, and I'm really interested in that. When visual proprioceptive feedback understates true neck rotation, pain-free range of motion is increased compared with that during accurate visual feedback. So what happened here is that a person would turn their neck 30 degrees, and it would hurt. You put on the VR goggles, and they would turn their head, and in the VR goggles, instead of going 30 degrees, they'd see 15. So they'd reach over for 15 more, and it wouldn't hurt because they would get visual feedback that they've only reached halfway, so it's okay to go the other half. Also, they've done tests with children in a children's hospital where they were cleaning burn wounds, right? And an extremely painful process. The kids would hate it, and they said, okay, well, let's try this with the VR goggles. It was a program called Cool, which would reflect a very cool, very soothing environment. So the kid would be with the VR glasses, and then after a while, the kid said, okay, well, just tell me when you're starting. And then the doctors answered, well, we're finished. It completely changed his perception of what was going on. It was enough to really down-modulate the pain for what for the children are excessively unpleasant moments.
Thank you very much. So normally I'm kind of a B word with the timing, but I feel like this was a conversation that kind of needed to be had.
Okay.
And there were only 2 questions. So, perfect. You already answered the questions without me even asking them. So I was going to say, meet him for a beer. So Jamie, if your question still stands, this is what he looks like. You can find him later. But honestly, that was a really great presentation. I think it's totally my bias. I try to be really neutral as the MC, but really, I think we need to have these conversations more. And I loved that you had it. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
So no questions. You're done. And then, more applause. Get my friend on Facebook.
Deal.
It's been recommended for a month. Anyway, okay, so thank you guys for staying till the end. We do have Dave from Weave who's going to say a super fast word. Super fast. Get up here. Super fast. And then I have just 2 more things for tomorrow. If you don't want to hear it, that's cool, but then you won't know what's happening.
Awesome. Thank you. And cool presentation. I was only here for the last part, but it was awesome. So if you haven't come by my table here, I'm from Weave. We do a phone system designed for private practice. It's designed to do a couple things. It's designed to improve the patient experience when communicating with your office, also to attract more new patients to your office every month, and then also to maximize efficiency at the front desk. I love that. And so if you own a private practice, come by tomorrow. I'll be here all day tomorrow. I'll show you what we do. If it's something that you feel would be beneficial to have, we do have a lot of show promotions, so I'd love to show you what those are. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, final announcements. Tonight, I don't know what that is. Oh, get scanned out. Thank you. Yeah, get scanned out, please, please. Because again, even if you don't need the CEUs, but you want an attendance certificate, you still need to scan in and scan out. Okay, 7:30 tonight is the workshop with Lysanthia and crew. So if you've registered, 7:30, please have some supper and bring paper and pen or pencil. But also, if you still want to attend, just find Lysanthia and she can work out a deal for you. That and that. The Paint Summit online is 50% off until Monday. It said the 15th. Does that make sense? March 15th? Rajam's going to have to clarify that. But if you want 50% off all of the recordings, please sign up. And then we're going to be starting at 8:10 tomorrow. But if you'd like to plan ahead, Dave Walton will be signing books out in the hallway at 11:15 and 4:20. So you probably have to buy a book or find a cocktail napkin. But if you want to plan ahead for that, he'll be out there signing books. So again, 8:10 tomorrow morning. We will see you then. Have a great night. Oh, wait. Hold on.